starting sequence. I'm a little bit dirty because as you saw there, the maintenance popping up. And why is that? Because when they did the service, they forgot, because it was not a Fiat garage, they forgot to how do you say that, reset that button. So then it popped up again in fully programmed mode. So today we're talking about the Abarth, and they have two turbos: the Garrett turbo, which is a top end type of turbo, and the IHI turbo, which I have. So the IHI has more of a low end, mid end grunt, whereas the Garrett is more of a mid to high end grunt. So in order to explain it a little bit more, up to like 4000 RPM the IHI, or 3000 RPM, 3500. Then you see that the IHI turbo is stronger, and above that Garrett turbo is stronger. So for example, for the competition at Biposto, etc., more track orientated, the Garrett turbo is much better because you have more top end and also more tunability. So if you're going to tune it, you will expand on that a little bit more. Especially again the top end and the mid and bottom end, the IHI still rules. And why is that? The IHI turbo is a lot smaller, has smaller internal dimensions as well, so it spools up a lot quicker. So the optimum boost for the IHI turbo is low to mid end, and the Garrett turbo needs a lot of revelations, a lot of spool to come into its power end. And by doing so, it will then, if it's in the power band, excel, of course. So it depends on what you want. If you want a car that you're driving for short bursts, or you're not driving extremely hard all the time, especially convertible in my opinion, I would recommend the IHI turbo. If you're going more for track orientated or longer drives, where you're going to exploit more of the revs, I would opt for the Garrett turbo, because both are very good at what they do in their own rev range. So if you are going with the Garrett turbo, I would recommend to go with the hard top as well, which is a little bit lighter, not much, but a little bit lighter. And also when you're going very fast or exploiting the entire rev range, this might sound nice, but it also it's a little bit contradicting to the nature of the convertible, in my opinion, and therefore I would not recommend to do so in a convertible. I would rather do that in a car that's more meant for such practices. Example Gracia, a hardtop. So a hardtop can be a little bit more stiff, but also cancel out a little bit more of the noise. So that's, in my opinion, what you should do, instead of focusing on a car that's meant more for cruising, and then put a very big turbo there that you are also going to tune. The IHI turbo tuned, that's one last thing that I want to say, is on par with the Garrett turbo untuned in terms of performance. So you get more torque and almost the same horsepower with a tuned IHI turbo as a standard competition Garrett turbo. If you compare it with the Garrett turbo of the Turismo, the new Turismo also has this Garrett turbo, then it's 165 horsepower. The tuned IHI turbo will rule over it, because that is a little bit more limited, of course. I hope this helps and gives you the insights that you are seeking if you're thinking about what type of turbo you should add to your Abarth. And what I recommend, you already know. So for competition type of use, competizione type of use in Italian, I would go for the Garrett turbo. if you're going to be tuning a lot, I would also go for the Garrett Turbo. It's a lot bigger gains to be made there. So the Garrett Turbo, especially in the Turismo, is the best option in my opinion. Why? It's a little bit less. If you go for the hardtop and you're not only going for track they use, I would opt for the Turismo. Why is that? It's more of a tour type of car instead of the Competizione, which is more expensive. Now, one, you get the same engine, the same turbo as well, for a lower price, and still you have some comfort in there. So if it's for daily, this is the best way to approach. Then you can have the tuning potential as well. If you're going to chip tune, you will reach the exact same numbers as with the Competizione for a lower price, and still not spine breaking hard suspension all the time. And if you're going to lower your car, then also a Turismo is better suited in my opinion, because it's a little bit less stiff to begin with. So then you can still have that lowered look and decrease the stiffness without being too extreme. If you would lower Competizione, this will be very, very stiff. So that are my 2 cents. So you will save a lot of money then. If you're going for a convertible, I would recommend going not all out. Even a baseline Abarth 595 would be suited perfectly. Especially if you're going to tune it, it will turn out almost the same as the higher spec ones, because the tune will set that to 3. The one thing that I would recommend, if you want to upgrade the suspension, etc., then go for the Turismo. That has a Garrett turbocharger and combine it with a convertible. Then it depends, if you want to go to tune it, then it might be too fast, because you get 220-ish horsepower, 230 maybe, with the Garrett turbocharger stage 1, so that's quite a lot. So if you start with 165, you're gaining about 65 horsepower, which is tremendous in my opinion. And you will be fine as well. But if you're only driving it for the fun, like I'm doing, and exploiting it, not the pursuit of extreme performance, then I would recommend going with the IHI. If you want a good bang for your buck, Turismo with the Garrett turbocharger. And if you go to tune other things, that's a good choice as well. The last thing to consider is that the older Abarth had the IHI turbocharger coupled with the Turismo and the Competizione. That could also be had as a convertible, of course. So that might be the best of the best bet. But for you to decide what you want and what's worth it to you. Hope this helps. Foundering car out.